Today we're going to try Stouffers Bowl-FULLS. Specifically, we have the slow roasted steak and potato one here. They had a couple different ones. They had a chicken bacon ranch one, and I honestly can't remember the other one. Another chicken one that I didn't get. I went for the beef one because that's what I really like to have in a frozen meal. For some reason, beef fits more in a frozen meal for me than chicken. That may just be a personal thing, but this was a recommendation. Somebody commented. I have it right here. Sherry Barber commented and said, hey, could you try the Bowl-FULLS? And she said, get whatever one you want. So this is the one I went for because it looked the best. And I like the bowl format of meals, and I haven't had the Stouffers Bowls. I've had Stouffers meals before, generally pretty good, but I have not had their Bowl-FULLS, which seem to be pushing the protein as usual, and it's made with real cream, which is always nice. Let's open it up and see what it looks like. On her comment, she said that they're especially good if you add broccoli or even canned chicken. Obviously, I'm not doing that just because I'm lazy and I want to review the product for what it is. And there's a little bit of frost on there. But here we go. Not much you can really tell from the front of the bowl because it's a little frosty. But you got mashed potatoes and meat. I really can't tell the rest. Slow roasted steak with vegetables over mashed potatoes and gravy. Where are our ingredients? Okay, here's where we find out some information. Number 1, potatoes. That's fine. Mashed potatoes. Number 2, water. Always a good sign. 3, cooked braised prime rib beef steak strips. Okay, and now I'm more interested. Cream, carrots, green beans, onions, less than 2% skim milk, modified cornstarch, blah, blah, blah. So the top ingredients are, in fact, mashed potatoes, then water, then the beef. So we could be in for a good meal here. Stouffers Bowl-FULLS. I paid $4.84 for it, so it's a little bit pricey for a frozen meal, but I think it's pretty hefty. 13.5 ounces. Standard frozen meals can range a lot from like 8 to 9 ounces for the smaller ones to, I'd say standard is probably around 11 ounces. So you're definitely getting a little bit more here, but the question's going to remain if the quality is there, because it is definitely on the higher end of Stouffers meals for sure. Regular Stouffers meals are usually $3 to $3.50, so you're paying an extra $1 to $1.50 here for the bowl. But I'm interested. Made with real cream, 21 grams of protein, premium meat, satisfaction you love from Stouffers. So let's try it out. Where's the instructions? Remove bowl from box, cook 4 minutes on high, remove film, stir, recover, then cook again for 3 more minutes. So 7 minutes total for our Stouffers Bowl-FULL, and then we'll see what it looks like when it comes out of the microwave. Okay, here's our bowl. I got it out of the microwave, the microwave. Still pretty hot. It looks not the best, but it does smell good. So I kind of kept the mashed potatoes and stuff separate, even though this is a bowl meal. That's how they came separate. But on the picture, it's all mixed together, so that's probably what I'll do. But I wanted to keep it separate just to kind of show. Mashed potatoes, I'm not too impressed. They look like standard frozen mashed potatoes, nothing too special. What's interesting really is the meat itself, and I'm curious to see how much meat will actually end up being in here. But the actual meat itself, it might be hard to tell on camera, but it looks like real nice prime beef. It looks pretty good and solid, but there's not too many chunks. You got a couple big chunks like that. And there's another big chunk in here somewhere. Another big chunker of meat right here. But otherwise, not too much. But we'll judge it in a second. Very interested to see how it turns out since the beef looks so good. I'm gonna try to get a bite with everything together. And I don't want to take that big chunk of beef on its own because that seems like too much beef for one bite. So we'll do one of those. That's got some beef on it there. It looks a little hot. Do the little blow. Gotta make sure. Don't want to burn my mouth. Alright, slow roasted steak and potatoes. Let's go. Well, color me impressed. All those things I was worried about before. I said the mashed potatoes and stuff, blah, blah, blah. I was wrong. I'm being a little bit overly negative today, I think, because this is fantastic. Honestly, a great frozen meal. The only issue I have with it is the same issue I have with most frozen meals, which is that there's not enough meat. But I think that's just a general issue I will always have, and other people will probably always have with frozen meals. It's never enough meat. compared to the other stuff. But otherwise, fantastic. I was not expecting it. Okay, the mashed potatoes, they looked like standard frozen mashed potatoes. I was expecting them to be kind of like tasteless mashed potatoes. No. When they say made with real cream on here, they're not lying. That's not just marketing speak. The potatoes are delicious. Possibly the best frozen mashed potatoes I've ever had. Packed full of cream. I don't know how much cream they put in here, but it tastes like they put a lot of cream in the potatoes, because they're delicious. They're fantastic. Gravy is good. Vegetables kind of just get lost in the shuffle, and the meat itself, ooh, dropped the package. The braised prime beef rib steak strips are delicious. This is good, solid, cooked. It tastes like a really nicely cooked, kind of like pot roast almost. That's what I'm getting. The meat breaks apart. It's not overcooked, it's not undercooked. It's got the perfect texture. It's got good flavor. It's got nice chunks, as I showed you before, but that's really all there was. It's like those 2 chunks and a couple of little bits and bobs throughout, but otherwise that was like all the meat in the bowl, which is a problem, as I said before, but the taste is just fantastic. Everything works together really well. I love this meal, to be honest. I definitely want to try the other bowls now. It's just a matter of if I want to dock it a point for the lack of meat, even though the meat that was there was so good. Like, I kind of want to give it a 5. I'm going to go through my process. Because sometimes I give things a score and people will say, you know, why did you talk trash about it and then give it a, a 5 or a 4? Or, you said a lot of good things, but you gave it a 3. Why is that? So I try to explain in the video the process. So that's why I want to go over it. So I in my mind, I want to give it a 5 because I think the taste is there for a 5. It is a little pricey though, and that's where I start to get into maybe I should give it a 4 because I'm paying almost $5 and there's not a lot of meat in here, even though what is here is very quality. So that's where I'm going back and forth in my mind. Do I want to give it a 5? I feel like I should reserve 5s for things that are exceptional, even though it might deserve a 5. I'm just not sure, and that's the process I'm going through in my head right now, back and forth. And I think I'm going to go with a 4, because again, I want to reserve a 5. I want to be more, or I guess less, liberal with my 5 assignment. I feel like sometimes I give things a 5 that might not deserve it, but I don't want the 5 to be some unreachable boundary. Like, I know some people, like, there's a lot of schools of thought on reviews, and some people do the 1 out of 10 and they don't give things 10s because nothing can be perfect or whatever. But for me, I want a 5 to be, really good item, but it doesn't have to be perfect. There can be some nitpicks to a 5-star item. It just has to overcome those with its other aspects, and this, I think, almost does. The only thing holding me back really is the price, honestly. If this was $4, I would probably give it a 5. It does come down sometimes to that binary of a choice in my mind between a 4 and a 5. So I'm gonna go with a 4. That's my reasoning. Hopefully that all made sense. That rant of between a 4 and a 5 makes sense to everybody. But I think that this is really good. I would suggest people try it if you're a frozen meal kind of person and you're watching this and you've never had the Stouffers Bowl-Fulls. I can highly recommend this one, specifically the steak and potatoes. Excellent. If you can afford to pay, an extra $1 or $2 for your frozen meals, definitely pick one of these up. I didn't find it at Walmart. The person who recommended it to me said they did find it at their Walmart, so you'll have to look at your own Walmart website. I found this at my local grocery store, which is H-E-B, which is generally cheaper or the same price as Walmart. So I assume at Walmart they're probably around $5 as well. But if you can find that, I would suggest that even at the $5 price, very good. If you can get it cheaper, even better. 4 out of 5, and with that, I will see you all next time.